Did you know that a woman's breast size is actually not an indicator of breast milk production? The size of a woman's breast is primarily determined by the amount of fatty tissue they contain, which actually has no effect on milk production. Milk production is governed by the milk-producing glands, or otherwise known as alveoli, and their efficiency, which are generally not related to breast size. So, milk storage capacity influences how much milk can be stored at one time, but not the amount a mother can produce over a day. Women with smaller breasts may actually need to feed their babies more frequently. Milk production depends on the hormones prolactin and oxytocin, not breast size. Regular breastfeeding or pumping can help stimulate milk supplies regardless of the breast size. So mothers of all breast sizes can successfully breastfeed their babies as long as the baby effectively removes milk and the demand is maintained. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Strength Classroom. Today I'm showing you my heavy effort upper body workout, starting off with some landmine snatches. As you can see, I'm kind of like prepping my body. I'm getting up onto my toes. I'm not really doing a high pull, but I said in another vlog that my biggest weakness when it comes to these landmine snatches is I'm not getting full triple extension. I'm pulling and releasing with my hand too early. And as you can see, I'm getting much better at that because I'm actually prepping myself to go through the triple extension first on the lighter weights or before I even do my first set. So I'm getting myself as tall as possible and as explosive as possible so that I can catch at a higher point as opposed to a lower point. So my reps are getting really good. Here's the main movement of the day. It pretty much doesn't get any more inefficient than this. Close grip, so longer range of motion, with a pause, so no rebound at the bottom. And I'm working up today to a max triple or a heavy triple. I don't want it to turn into a double. I want to do as many clean triples as I can at higher weights. So here's 250 pounds. Get a nice pause in there. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, 250. I'm like, you know what? More weight. More weight is on the bar. So here's actually 260. And I never normally go that heavy on inclines. So I think the most I've ever done is like 275 for 2. Normally I'll do inclines for like 1, maybe 2 heavy workouts and then call it a day. So really my incline doesn't really improve that much. But as you can see by my vlogs, I've been doing incline 2 times a week for a couple weeks now. So then I decided to do 2 drop down sets of about, I guess, 60 to 70%. What would this be? Let's see, 260. Yeah, it's about 70% of my top working set. When I was at kind of my strongest, and a method that has always worked for me is to do drop down sets of the main movement. It's always helped. It helps more so for upper body than it does for lower body. I find lower body doing more heavier work and then dropping down and doing 1, maybe 2 sets and maybe at a higher percentage. Doesn't really matter. If you respond to it, you respond to it, but drop down sets are always going to work. They're nothing fancy, but just long story short, they're always going to work. Then do some heavy barbell rows, 250 pounds, 3 sets of 10. Because I did so much deficit barbell rows, these actually feel like I'm doing a partial rep, which I guess in the grand scheme of things, technically it is a partial rep because the 45-pound plate doesn't allow you, restricts range of motion. I hate that stupid argument. So many people want to sound smart when they say that. Listen, the 45-pound plate has just become a standard. Anything more than that is considered an exceeding range of motion. So if I wanted to stand, which I do, on a box or a platform, I could, and I would get more range of motion. However, these are standard. These are a little bit more pendulum style. So you'll notice I'm not really craning myself up. I'm just getting a little bit, tiny bit of momentum, and I'm stabilizing with my back and my hamstrings and then pulling, but I'm not turning it into an upright row, which a lot, or like a shrug, which a lot of people do. Now here's ring push-ups, just 2 sets right here, plus 40 pounds. You can see the rings are converging, they're going out, they're going in. I'm twisting at the bottom, which gives you a little bit more chest. That helps on ring dips as well, gives you more chest in there. As opposed to when you're doing standard dips, you aren't given that opportunity basically. Here is the second set. Here I did 2 sets of 12. It's a good variation. It allows for greater shoulder movement, which is always a good thing. Because too many exercises lock us into place. You need to do some exercises that give you freedom of movement. You don't always just want to do standard push-ups. Now here's the lighter stuff. I got these from a wrestler. I don't remember his last name, but they just call him Reza for short. So this is good for your delts, side delts in a way. It's good for your rotator cuffs. It's just good for shoulder mobility in general, but it's also good for your upper back. Now, it simulates the movement of swimming, so it's going to get some serratus in there. But it's a really, really good movement. As you can see, wrestlers definitely will heavily gravitate towards this movement, just by the look of it. Then I did some kettlebell lateral raises, just with one arm. Just because I really wanted to focus on that one side. It was more of an experiment. It's not like there's anything fancy going on here. I just wanted to see. I've seen people do one-arm lateral raises all the time. Just wanted to see what all the hype was about. But I feel like when it comes to shoulder isolation, you can't go wrong with Lou raises. So I picked up a pair of 15-pound bumper plates that were a really good price. Shockingly good price for bumpers. I got the cheapest ones because I'm not actually even using them as bumpers. They are literally for Lou raises, and so I can have 15-pound increments when it comes to plate neck work, so neck curls. And I figured it was like $40 for 2 15-pound bumpers, like together, which I thought that was a really, really good price. So I went with it, pulled the trigger. Not like it's a really big investment. And then just ended up with some grip and forearm work. Gripito, what's that? I gotta see the kettlebell, so I don't know. So 45-pound kettlebell, just going back and forth, back and forth. So I did some forearm extensor work. And then when my forearms, my extensors were really sore, I decided to just go the other way, which I'm not going to bother showing you just because you've probably seen enough. But if you like this video, ladies and gentlemen, you learned something, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And as always, have yourself a great day.